Yeah, buddy. Read the title. Lyft went viral for the wrong reasons in August. I have to say, doing the live streams is so much more my style. I like freestyling content because I can get feedback from the people here on the channel. I like it when people say, "Hey, James, your channel is not that relevant." Well, that's okay because everything starts from somewhere, right? You can't just build Rome in one night, right? We all know that saying, you can't build Rome overnight. Well, you can't build a YouTube channel overnight either. And even if we're having good discussions, the more we have good discussions about things that matter in the rideshare community, the better it is for us. And plus, even for the people that are out there driving, wouldn't it have some good discussions while you're out there driving, if that's what you're doing? What's going on, Rick Reviews? Mr. Oscar. Yeah, what's going on? And make sure you guys press the like button. But what I wanted to ask was what's the market you guys are in? I've done three markets and I've been able to see what it's like to drive in three different markets. My favorite market, I would have to say, was San Diego. I was driving in San Diego for a while. I think I did like a year and a half in San Diego of driving out there. And driving in San Diego, man, I gotta say that was definitely one of my favorite cities. Hey, press the like button if you are in here right now. I see we got some people in here, so go ahead and press the like button. That sends notifications to the other subscribers on the channel. I know I only got 120. Okay, give me a break. We're gonna be at like 10,000 in another year, right? Right? Yeah, maybe. We'll see. All right, let's see. I drove in LA, SF, Bay, Sacramento, and the California Lake Tahoe. Oh man, I wonder what it was like in Lake Tahoe. I heard like before, like there was all the changes and everything. I heard Lake Tahoe was a good city to drive in because all the people going to the ski resorts and you would get these crazy surge rides, and most of the rides out there were long. That's what I heard because a lot of people were also going to Reno, and I think that's like a 20-minute, 20-mile drive from Lake Tahoe to Reno. Um, I also drove in the San Francisco Bay for a little while. I think I did that market for that's where I first started driving actually was in the San Francisco Bay. And press the like button, by the way, if you're in here. When I was in San Francisco, my favorite part about driving through there was really getting to know that city, but I didn't stay around that much. I mean, I grew up in the Bay Area, but I never really like explored San Francisco like that. So it's always been like a confusing city to me. Like, man, all those one-way streets, and then you got hills. It's rough on the car though. Like if you're driving your own car out there, well, when I was driving out there, there was no such thing as express drive, so that was the only option. But I remember going down the hills like, "Oh my gosh, please brakes, don't fail me now because me and these passengers are going to be flying through the intersection." Rick Reviews. I've got 16 subscribers. I'm really popular. Yeah, man, you can't build Rome overnight. I just figure, I like doing videos, and I think definitely more than I like to do any kind of videos. I like to do live streams. Live streams are fun, man. Especially when you got a few people chiming in. It'd be even better once we get it to like 100, 200 people. Man, the discussions are going to be crazy. So if I keep on putting out live streams, eventually it'll catch on, right? Something to catch on. Let's see. Yeah, so I also drove in San Diego. So San Diego was the second market that I did. So first was San Francisco, and I did a little bit of Sacramento too. And I did a few days out there, and I drove some people from downtown Sacramento to UC Davis. And if you don't know, that's like maybe like 10 miles from downtown Sacramento, maybe 12 miles. And UC Davis is a college city. And I found out once you get to like a college city, you're just going to be given rides all over the campus pretty much. Those I was not too fond of, because even when I went to San Diego, San Diego is a huge college city and there was like nothing but colleges. I think you got UCSD, so that's University of San Diego, then you got San Diego State, and then you got I can't even remember. I want to say there's like 3 colleges in San Diego. But that did make for a great weekends because a lot of people were going to the Gas Slam District, partying it up on the weekends, going to Pacific Beach. Oh, that was one of my favorite parts of driving in San Diego. Um, was just like all the beautiful scenery that there always was out there in San Diego. Sometimes, like if it was a slow night, I would just park over there by the beach in Pacific Beach or La Jolla, wherever I was, and I would just turn the car off and I would just walk over to the beach and just listen to the ocean. That was one of my favorite parts of driving in San Diego. And now I'm in Las Vegas. It's a small city. Las Vegas is a small city. Let's see. Yeah, Las Vegas being such a small city, you do get kind of well, the good thing about it is you don't get those very long rides, because there was times where I would be in San Diego and you would have to drive from San Diego all the way to LA, and those rides were horrendous. The only good place to drive, the 7x7 of San Francisco, short pickups. People know how to use the app, and trips usually stay in the city, minimize dead miles back into the city. What is 7x7? I'm not sure if I know what the 7x7 is. I've never heard of that. Yeah, I mean, sometimes San Francisco was great. I mean, there was times where, yeah, you would just stay in the city. Well, man, the club run in San Francisco, that was like one of my favorite times to drive out there when people were getting out of the club. That hour, because California, they got a 2 a.m. law on alcohol. So all the clubs would close in San Francisco or anywhere really in California. And there would be like this huge surge before 2 o'clock. And those rides were the best, man. Especially if you can knock out a bunch of those like in an hour. 7 miles by 7 miles. Are you serious? I didn't know that. It's not a big city, but there's so many different streets and twists and turns. You get through off. I got lost in San Francisco a few times. Man, I seen one of the most horrendous things I've ever seen in my driving career in San Francisco. I'm not gonna go too much into detail because I know we're gonna be putting this video, for people to see forever on YouTube. But let's just put it like this: I saw a bum fight in San Francisco, and a lot of you probably know that San Francisco is like the biggest city with homelessness. It's pretty messed up, man. Las Vegas has a lot too. I don't know how they do that in Las Vegas, man. It's too hot out here. I mean, it gets up to like 115. It'll be like 12 a.m. at night and still like 100 degrees. Like, how's that even possible? I could deal with it though, since I'm always in the AC. So I just don't I don't go outside. So I could deal with the heat. But it's pretty messed up, man. San Diego, there was also a big homeless problem, but at least they're in San Diego, good weather. I think per capita, Oakland is now number one for homeless. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. In Oakland, really? Yeah, you know what? I was in the Bay Area like I think 3 months ago, and I was driving down. I think it was 58 or 880. Yeah, I was driving down 880, in Oakland. I think I was driving from like San Mateo. I went over the San Mateo Bridge and then I ended up on 880 going through Oakland and I saw a bunch of homelessness on the side of the highway. That's crazy, man. I mean, that's what California is becoming, especially the Bay Area, because I mean, it's like it's not really livable. Like you got to have a tech job. You got to be working at one of these companies that we're using for the gig economy out there if you're in the Bay Area. You got to be working with Lyft, like in the corporate, or you got to be working with Uber or YouTube or some kind of gig economy platform in the Bay Area. A lot of buildings out there, they're all techie buildings. They're all tech companies. And I mean, if you can get a job at a tech company out there in the Bay Area, you'll probably be all right. But they say that it takes two incomes of 150,000 to even be able to get like a decent home. Hey, press the like button if you're in here. Let's see. Visually, I see more homelessness in Oakland than San Francisco. Yeah, I mean, probably because in San Francisco, there's more places for them to hide. Man, when I went to the city last, man, I seen pieces of human shit on the ground, like on the sidewalks. That's disgusting. I mean, man, I feel for the people that are homeless, but man, that's disgusting, man, that they're resorting to taking shit on the sidewalks. Hey, press the like button if you're in here. It sends out the notification to others, man. Yeah, but San Diego was pretty bad too. But they keep downtown San Diego pretty clean. Like they don't let the homeless people wander into down like the main gas lamp area. And if they do, then eventually they get like shooed off. And I do feel for the homeless though. Actually, like it's been like one of my things since I've been out here in Las Vegas to go and volunteer at one of the homeless shelters to you know help give them food and things like that. I haven't done that yet, but eventually I'm gonna get around to it. I think probably the best thing you can do in the summer in Las Vegas is probably go and get like 5 24 packs of water bottles like at Costco, or Costco probably has 48 packs actually, and go and hand them out to the people that are in the heat, man. I don't know how they're doing it, but then you see them sleeping on the strip at night. You do see a lot of homeless on the strip actually. Well, not a lot, because a lot of them are in North Vegas, like a little bit past downtown Fremont Street experience, but you do see homelessness on the strip, and especially in the summer because they're like you could see that they're just exhausted and sleeping like on the sidewalks at night because they're just exhausted. Their body's exhausted from being in the sun all night, man. It's pretty sad. Press the like button if you're in here. That helps send the notifications out to others. But yeah, man, we're talking about just different markets that we've been in. What markets have you been in? And for me, like I've said to those who've been watching, I did San Francisco market. I've done the LA, not LA, excuse me, San Diego, San Francisco, San Diego. Now I'm in Las Vegas. Let's see, the Zappos guys cleaned up downtown. I doubt homeless will be welcome there. Yeah, you're right, man. Zappos. I heard Amazon has something to do with the cleaning up of downtown Vegas as well. I don't know. But I know for sure Zappos, man, they bought up like a bunch of those buildings. They got downtown looking nice. And as a matter of fact, some of the buildings in downtown Vegas, they got their employees, I believe, living in those buildings. And so they could just walk to work. Yeah, they got Vegas, downtown Vegas looking pretty good. And also the art district in Vegas is on the come up. I never even knew there was an art district, but every Friday in Las Vegas, there's something they call First Friday. Well, a lot of cities got like First Fridays or Second Saturdays and things like that. But in Las Vegas, they got First Friday, and it's like an art festival, and it kind of boiled over into the bar scene in downtown Las Vegas, and it's pretty fun, a good thing to do on every First Friday of the month. That's the thing I like about Vegas is there's a lot of things to do. Like if you're a local here, you don't have to be out gambling and partying and doing all those things. As a matter of fact, If you live in Las Vegas, that's the last thing you want to do is be gambling or anything like that. Gambling is not fun. Gambling is a not and it's not a good hobby. I mean, that's my take. I mean, I know a lot of people they do like to recreational gamble, but if you live in the city, you'll get way further not gambling at all. And I know the casinos wouldn't like this video, but I mean, you'd get so much further not gambling at all and just working hard and saving your money than trying to like by the time you hit like a big jackpot or something, you would have already saved up that amount anyways. Is what I'm saying because obviously you're going to lose a lot before you win anything. A lot of my passengers when I'm driving out here in Las Vegas, sometimes I could always tell if they've been gambling because either they're really happy when they get in the car and talkative and they want to talk my ear off, and that's cool. I much rather have people talking to me when I'm driving around. It's so boring when I'm driving around and people just aren't saying a thing. But usually, if they're not saying the thing here in Las Vegas, after coming out of one of those big properties on the strip, they've probably been blowing a bunch of money, and then they get in the car and they're like, and you're like, "Hey, how you doing?" And they're like, "Good." And in my mind, I'm thinking like, "Oh, okay, you just blew your load, didn't you?" Hi, brother. This is Roy from Las Vegas. I sent you an email. I sent an email to you. Did you get it? I, have I even? I didn't know that my email was public. I'm not. Let me see. Yeah, I hadn't. I didn't think that my email was public. Well, don't. I don't want you to put my email on blast, but well, I mean, yeah. Go ahead. I mean, I didn't get no email from you though, man. Where would you have sent this message? Because I don't think that I got it. I mean, I usually check my email and didn't see it. But it's good to have somebody else in here from Las Vegas, man, because Las Vegas is an interesting market. The furthest drive I did in Las Vegas was, and I know nobody asked for this, but I'm gonna tell you anyways. The furthest ride I did in Las Vegas was from Henderson to Barstow and back. It was like one of those two stops. So it was from Henderson. First stop was Barstow, and then back to Henderson. It was a trucking company, and this trucking company had a truck driver who I guess like he ran out of driving time or something like that, and oh, excuse me, he ran out of driving time, so they had to send another driver out there to get him or to take over that truck. And then the driver that was driving that truck that ran out of time, he had to come back to Vegas. And that was a pretty long drive, honestly. I want to say it was 2.5 hours to Barstow and 2.5 hours back. But I wouldn't have did it if it was like, not a double trip because it wouldn't have been worth it for me. It would have been, I would have made the same just driving in around the strip for 5 hours versus driving out there and then coming back with, you know, no passenger. Yes, sir. Yeah, Vegas is an interesting city, man. It just got so dark in here. Oh no, that's gonna mess up our lighting. 1 second, y'all. I'll be right back. Let me go fix the lighting in here. All right, we're back. Yeah, one of the interesting things about Las Vegas being out here is like, man, you really get to focus in this city. And I want to make the stream about some more positive stuff too. I mean, because most of my videos are it's me ranting or talking about some kind of drama. And I had somebody say earlier, like, hey, I like to make content that's drama free. And I agree, like nobody likes drama. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. I know some people that thrive off drama. But I mean, I do like a nice positive mindset, and I always do have that. But let's be honest, in the month of August, Lyft they went viral for all the wrong reasons. I mean, honestly, let's think about it. Let's see, they cut the rate. No, first they said, "Hey, we're going to go ahead and give you, we're going to start paying you as soon as you press accept, right? So that you would accept all rides." But the problem with that is here in Las Vegas, where they're testing this new thing, all of our pickups are like a block away from us. Like we never have pickups that are 10 miles away, 20 miles away. When I was in San Diego, when I was doing Lyft out there, that market, yes, that will work. Well, I mean, if the rate was still the same, like if they cut the rate like they did, then it sucks anyways. But let's say they never cut the rates, right? Let's say they kept the rate like at $1 per mile or something like that. And then they allowed the app to pay you as soon as you press arrive, or not arrive, but accept. And then you had to go drive 20 minutes and however long away. That would work. Okay. But here in Las Vegas, all of our pickups are like, I'll be at Bally's and I'll get a pickup at Paris. And I don't even have to go on any major streets to get there. Like I'm literally like 30 seconds away, as long as there's no bozo drivers clogging up the driveways. Oh, let me tell you, the drivers in Las Vegas, oh my gosh. Sometimes I have to because these drivers in Las Vegas, man, these drivers here in Las Vegas are horrendous, man. Just cutting you off, not letting you over. Like the Uber and Lyft drivers, come on, guys. It is like cutting me off or not letting me over or honking at me. It has never been that serious about your minimum $4.24 fare. Come on. All right, let's see here. I'm a driver here on your website. If I want drama, I just watch some daytime Spanish soaps. Hey man, low key, I used to watch those with my mom, like back in elementary. Like she used to make me watch them, not because like for like any educational purposes, but like that's what she was watching, and I was waiting because I was like, "Is it almost done? I want to watch Rocco's Modern Life or whatever show came on, the Rugrats or whatever." So I used to have to sit there and watch all the soap operas with my mom. It was about the letter you received from Lyft. I got one of the same, plus was suspended for 89 minutes. Oh man, is that right? You got suspended for 89 minutes? Man, that's crazy, man. I don't know why Lyft thinks they could dictate like what we do. How are we independent contractors, but the algorithm micromanages us closer than an actual live human being could manage us? The algorithm is like more strict than having an actual person, honestly. Because if you cancel enough times, the algorithm's gonna flag you like they flagged my account. And if you continuously do it, they're gonna suspend you. And then what? Then you gotta send like 5 emails back and forth, maybe even 10, with some person, robot person, who's gonna like send you a bunch of like scripted messages back. Press the like button if you're in here. And you know what is crazy to me? And this is something that I need to do some research on, but I remember, all right, so let's say back before they did all the rate cuts and made all the drivers upset, mad, sad, all of the above. I remember I used to be able to clock in like $30 to $40 in an hour consistently, like hour after hour. Like, man, I'm making like $30, $40 an hour right now doing ride share. This is great, right? Better than like any paying job 9 to 5 that I've had. Well, that's what kind of drew us in. And this is where it's messed up too, because a lot of us we got used to that kind of money, and we created our lives around it. But anyways, but what I've noticed is ever since they started doing pay cuts and making changes, they got the algorithm down to where they got you making whatever amount they want you to make an hour. And they're calculating your tips. They're noticing like the algorithm of how often you get tips. They're the algorithm of where you usually pick up, how long your rides are. They got it down to where if the algorithm, if they wanted to program to make for you $20 an hour, they will make it to where you don't make more than $20 an hour. I I got to do research on that, but I'm almost positive that's what they're doing because if somebody gave, all right, let's say I did a minimum ride and I got $4 on that minimum ride, okay, and that person tipped me $15, right? So that's like almost $20, right? I won't get any more rides the rest of that hour. Maybe I will if it's really busy, but if it's not, I won't get any more rides. And this is something that I've noticed that Lyft does. And I mean, honestly, they probably would never say that because then at that point they're doing an hourly rate and you're not an employee. So they figured out ways. These tech industries have figured out ways to take advantage of people, lie to the investing media, and they figured it out. They know how to, work the system per se. And they do it good, and they're really bad. And the fact that they do it is really bad. 113. Yeah, man. The algorithm. That's the micromanager of the century right there. Let's be honest though, Lyft went viral for the wrong reasons in the month of August. And really in the year of 2019 so far, Lyft has been going viral for all the wrong reasons. Lyft, a lot of people switched from Uber to Lyft because Lyft was much better in the past, and now Lyft, they're the ones taking the lead and front foot. They're the front runner on these price cuts, and I kind of see why, because Uber, they're kind of stuck in a stalemate right now in the stock market. They're losing crazy money each and every quarter, and so if they were to raise their prices, then people were just going to choose Lyft because Uber low key is the only app that still does surge. Well, no, high key actually, because Lyft doesn't do prime time no more. And Uber still occasionally does a small surge from what I understand. So if they were to, let's say, raise their prices more, then people are definitely going to Lyft. And guess what? The reason why Lyft has the upper hand on Uber right now is because Lyft, they have already cut the rates on the drivers, slashed. Okay, so now they cut their costs, and boom, they already cut what the passenger is paying, slashed, right? And then you got Uber on the other hand, they're having problem in the stock market. They're losing crazy amounts of money in the stock market, right? But they can't really raise their prices because then everyone's going to go to Lyft, and they really can't cut the driver rate anymore because it's going to be more bad press. More bad press means investors are going to be pulling out like crazy. Let's see. We got Mr. Josh Penn with the message here. Lyft needed to do the pay from acceptance because they have fewer drivers on the road. Most drivers will do Uber. Yeah, yeah. I mean, definitely, but I just don't understand why they would cut the rate though, man. Like honestly, I'm also a passenger. I love, being able to just get a ride. I mean, the convenience of it is great. It is awesome. But if the rates were like 25%, 50% more, not rates, but well, yeah, rates too for drivers, but if the price was 25% to 50% more, I would still use the service. Honestly. If I knew that I was paying more, but the driver was being paid more fair, then I would still use the service. See, a lot of passengers are confused too because they think that the drivers are making crazy money. And it takes for drivers to just be honest and tell them the truth. Like drivers, you have to stop telling passengers you're making good money. Like you're not making good money no more. I don't care what your side hustle is inside the car or nothing like that. Nothing like that matters. We're talking about the fares and what you're making from Lyft. You're not making good money no more. I don't care what market you're in. If you're not making $400 to $500 in a night, and I'm not talking, all right, I guess maybe some people are doing XL or something like that. But I doubt that even with XL, you're making $400 to $500 in a night. Hey, press the like button, by the way, because that sends out notifications to more people. But yeah, people need to start being honest with these passengers because what's happening is they're getting in all the other drivers' cars and they're not tipping their driver because they're like, oh, okay, I just paid $20, and they're thinking in their head the driver just got $15. That's cool. So they're not tipping, right? But really, they just paid $20 and the driver just made $8, like 25% of that fare. And then they're like, I'm not really in the tipping mood right now. When really all drivers should be telling people the truth because everybody gets those annoying questions. Hey, what do you what else do you do? Is this your only job? Have you been driving? All those redundant questions that basically they only ask because they want to make sure that their life is much better than yours. Yeah. You need to start being honest with these people that drivers can start getting tipped, man. I promise you, I've probably done like 60 rides in the past 3 days, 4 days. No, 2 days. Yeah, 2 days. And I want to say like six people tipped me. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a great time with all my passengers. Aside from all the rants online and these really actually being my final days as a driver because I'm looking for a way out of rideshare driving. I still have a good time with people because my decisions aren't going to dictate my mood and how I treat others. But it still blows my mind that people aren't tipping. All right, let's see what's going on here. All right, so we got bear claws. They are just really bad at math. Hey, honestly, man, Uber and Lyft, for all the smart techies you got working for you, you guys are making some of the most weird, distorted decisions that I've ever witnessed in my life. And I'm sure many of the drivers are just confused. How much lower could the rates go? Honestly, are they really actually headed to paying drivers hourly rates? Like minimum wage? It seems like that's where they're trying to head. Like maybe pay drivers minimum wage. No, that can't be true because then they would have to buy cars for drivers, and that's just a huge expense. I honestly think they're stashing billions away in other entities and claiming losses. I don't trust these people up in those high positions in Uber and Lyft. I think they're scheming. I mean, they're smart enough to get to where they are. How are they not smart enough to figure out ways to stash away billions, claim it as losses, and go on their merry way after they sell the company to Toyota, Ford, or Amazon? Jeff Bezos is probably like, "Oh, I'm not touching those companies, all those billions of losses." But if they could figure out a way to pay drivers minimum wage, get them some little cheap cars or something like, there's going to be a lot of crazy changes in the next 5 years with Uber and Lyft because they're probably going to still be around, but because the public, they want these convenient rides. Like we're all used to it now. Like if I had no way of getting somewhere right now, I feel good knowing that I can go on my phone, spend like $8 and make it happen. Boom, I'm at the grocery store. The people want it. The people don't want to take city transit and bus. And besides, most cities have terrible public transportation. Unless you're in the Bay Area, New York, or a city that has some kind of public transportation that's good, then it probably works out. Let's see. they cut the rate so they see they could increase the take per ride. Lyft has many drivers that are locked into Lyft with express rentals. That's very true, and I'm one of them. And I'm getting 25 cents a mile right now, and it is pretty depressing. I got to be honest with you, but I'm on my last days as a rideshare driver anyway. So, but I never canceled not one trip. I had just drop off a passenger. I have a 5-star rating, so now some BS is going on. Yep. Wouldn't doubt it. Press the like button if you're new in here. I usually make 10% of my total. That's messed up, man. That is so messed up. Engineers are still tweaking the algorithm. Test and see the results. Stock prices are on the toilet. Time is running out. I agree. Uber and Lyft bet the farm that self-driving cars would already be here. Man, there's actually like 400 self-driving cars. Well, self-driving cars in Las Vegas, but they have two people. They have a like autopilot, like a driver that's just kind of doing this with the steering wheel, and then they got an engineer in the second seat trying to do all the little tweaks. But in my opinion, self-driving cars, they're probably not going to be really actually relevant until all cars on the road are self-driving, because the self-driving car can't predict if I decide to but if my car is a self-driving car and that car is a self-driving car, they could probably somehow communicate with each other. So if that car wouldn't do no random move like that. You know what I mean? I think self-driving cars are probably the future though, honestly. But how far are we away from that happening? It's probably not that far away, but I also don't think it's going to be next year or even the next 5 years. I don't know. Man, I'm having fun with this live chat right now, man. I appreciate everybody coming in here. If you're new in here, press the like button. Yeah, man. Self-driving cars here in Las Vegas, there's like 400 of them right now. And a lot of people, they'll get in my car and they say, "Hey, man, I had this option for a self-driving car. It asked me if I wanted to do it. I pressed yes, but you came. What do you think about that?" And I'm like, well, first of all, by pressing yes, you probably didn't read the fine print, did you? You're probably kind of drunk, aren't you? They're like, "Oh, yeah, I just press yes. There's fine print." I'm like, yeah, at the bottom of the screen, when you select yes that you want to try one of the self-driving cars, you're actually waiving your liability as a passenger. So if that car malfunctions and runs into a brick wall and you break all of your ribs and your left leg, you're not going to be covered, because guess what? By pressing yes, you waived your liability. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm not going to take one. Oh my gosh." I'm like, hey, man, should have read that fine print. But I guess I'm not really one to talk because I'm not necessarily reading the fine print in all these Lyft terms, am I? Hey, man, Lyft went viral in 2019 or August of 2019 for all the wrong reasons. Once again, man, they cut the rates dramatically in a lot of markets, and the delete Lyft campaign has started. A lot of people are rocking with the delete Lyft movement. I posted a video with one subscriber, and now I got 120 subscribers or something like that. So, and 6,000 views on that video. And that just comes to show a lot of drivers are upset, they're outraged, they're looking for answers, they're looking for others to relate with, because they know crazy stuff is happening in the rideshare economy. And so that's why I say that Lyft is going viral for all the wrong reasons in 2019. What else did I want to say about the self-driving car? Um, yeah, so they come to the car, they're like, "What do you think about the self-driving cars?" There was something else I wanted to say. I hate it when that happens, man. All right, let's see what we got here. We got Sultan Basha. Let's go. Yeah, man, let's go. There will be many accidents with self-driving cars and regular cars in the road, just like automobiles, horse buggies back in the 1990s. I don't know too much about the horse buggies, but yeah, man. Totally. There's going to be a lot of accidents with that. I really truly think. I'm not an expert or a techie guy, but I don't think it takes a mathematician or a techie to know that The only way that really truly works is if all cars on the road are self-driving. Honestly, time to drive taxi. Yeah, man. Honestly, I've applied at the taxi office, and I could go and drive taxi right now, but I'm exploring my other options right now because I don't even know if I want to do any kind of taxi service anymore. Honestly, I mean, I like meeting people and I like talking with people and everything, but when you're at that point and you're just like, I'm kind of over it, man. Like I want to try something new. I've kind of been feeling like that for a while, actually. Wow, didn't know that waiver about self-driving. Yeah, man. Self-driving, man. Once you click yes, then you've waived the liability. And that's it. New cars with emergency braking assistance already making news for malfunction and random braking for no reason scares the shit out of the drivers, and that's not even close to self-driving tech. Yeah, man, for sure. They're gonna have to work out a lot of kinks, man. But you know what? Artificial intelligence, the good thing, or what I want to say is artificial intelligence, it has a way better memory than humans do. So it's only gonna get better with time. And if they can get the AI system in the self-driving cars to work really good, then it's gonna get better. But still, humans are the people controlling the AI at the end of the day. So you know, until everything is AI, it's not gonna work. Forget Uber and Lyft, both junk companies that suck the blood out of the driver. Yeah, totally, man. Delete Lyft, delete Uber. We're gonna have to all get on a trip pretty soon, man. When Lyft went public, the CEO got a $500 million bonus. Unbelievable. Is that right? 500 million, huh? $500 million bonus, huh? They're doing the drivers wrong, man. And in California right now, they're trying to pass the bill where they got to pay the drivers. Let me check the time because I got to get out of here pretty soon. Hey, you know what, y'all? We're gonna cut this live stream. Actually, I gotta get going. It's been 42 minutes. What's up, Calvin? Hey, man, you came in at the end of the stream, but you'll be able to rewind and and listen to the stream. But I just realized, oh man, we got new people coming in too. Oh man. Hey man, we're gonna continue this discussion either later today or tomorrow. If you're new here, press the like button because that sends out notifications. You'll be able to rewatch this live stream. I gotta get going though. Nice talking to you all. Hey, I'll talk to you soon. Driver, super driver James. I'm out.